From his cell in San Diego, Suge Knight has little left to lose. His voice is steady, heavy with memories and bitterness. 28 years, that's his sentence. But today, he's not talking about his own mistakes. He's exposing the other side, the one few dare to confront. He speaks of his rise and fall, led by unseen hands, crooked deals, corrupt lawyers, compliant judges. He names names without flinching: David Kenner, Larry Longo, Johnny Cochran. He claims, backed by documents, that he was trapped, brought down by a system that destroys the powerful it can't control. But this isn't just his story. It's the story of an industry rotting from within, where fame masks fear, where money buys silence, where betrayal costs less than loyalty. Then comes the subject no one touches lightly: the death of Tupac Shakur. Suge was there, in the car, when the bullets tore through the Las Vegas night. A bullet remains lodged near his skull to this day, a silent witness to that brutal night. He knows what happened. He knows who pulled the trigger, and more importantly, who let it happen. He describes how Tupac's security was methodically dismantled that night. Reggie Wright Jr., head of security, had ordered the bodyguards to disarm. Those who refused, like Michael Moore, were pushed aside. Frank Alexander, whom Tupac despised for his constant thirst for fame, was the only one left. A coincidence? Not to Suge. To him, it was a setup. This was no spontaneous attack. It was a hit, a murder for hire. And Suge doesn't stop there. He openly accuses Snoop Dogg of wanting Tupac dead. He recalls secret meetings, suspicious absences, warning signs ignored. The night of the murder, Snoop, according to Warren G., was listening to the gunfire in real time over a secured radio frequency and did nothing. As for Diddy, Suge is more cautious. He never confronted him directly. Only once at a Los Angeles hotel, he leaned in and said, "You've got a lot of explaining to do." Before he could finish, Diddy fled, shielded by his entourage. The rumors, though, persist. Suge mentions testimonies. Keefe D allegedly received money from Diddy to orchestrate Tupac's killing. Underground transactions known to authorities, never prosecuted. But the story goes beyond gunshots in a Cadillac. It stretches deep into the music industry's hidden corridors. Suge reveals what many keep buried: sexual compromises, secret humiliations, unspoken ties between stars and powerful executives. Diddy, he claims, had intimate relationships with influential men, not women, who opened doors no amount of talent could unlock. Ray J, once close to Diddy, was allegedly more than just a friend. This isn't just a vendetta. Suge Knight paints a brutal picture: an industry where fame is built on foundations of secrets and betrayal, where money buys not only silence, but immunity. Suge Knight continues, relentless. Through his words, he assembles a dark puzzle, piece by piece. In this portrait, the familiar faces of the industry aren't heroes, they're shadows. He accuses Reggie Wright Jr. of not just neglecting Tupac's safety, but actively endangering it. The proof, he says, is there. Orders given to disarm guards, refusals to send backup after Vegas altercations, absences too convenient to ignore. Behind Wright Jr., other names emerge. Snoop Dogg, no longer just a rival or colleague, but a silent accomplice. According to Suge, Snoop knew. He had warned his crew not to go to Vegas, hinting that something deadly was brewing. That night, while Tupac lay bleeding, Snoop reportedly listened to the gunfire through a security radio, never lifting a hand. The story gets darker when Suge mentions the audio tape he possesses, a recording where Snoop allegedly admits the reasons behind Tupac's death. A tape so powerful it could put Snoop behind bars for life. Yet, Suge has chosen not to release it, preferring the weight of knowledge over the chaos of exposure. And then there's Diddy. Suge avoids a direct accusation but draws a damning portrait. He reminds us of the allegations, the whispered transactions, money changing hands to orchestrate a killing. He highlights Diddy's entanglements with powerful figures, his ascent paved by compromises and purchased silence. He recalls the night Diddy fled from his presence, how the industry protected its own, how the major labels, like Interscope, shielded their investments. He points to Capricorn Clark, reportedly beaten by Diddy, who, according to Suge, was paid $1 million by Jimmy Iovine to keep quiet. A secret transaction buried deep, while others were left to take the fall. But Suge draws a wider lesson from his story. To him, the music industry was never a place for honest success. It was a battlefield where alliances were forged in darkness, where money erased crimes, where loyalty cost more than betrayal. And if Diddy faces trial today, Suge is certain he won't go to prison. The industry, he says, protects its own, no matter the violence, no matter the victims. Justice is not dictated by truth, but by the interests of those in power. For Suge Knight, the reality is clear. It's not just a man on trial, it's the entire system. And as long as that system stands, justice remains a myth. When Suge speaks of Tupac, his voice shifts, slower, heavier. It's no longer just the story of a crime, it's a story of loss. He remembers that night in the car, the silence shattered by bullets. No help came, no witnesses, no rescue, only him and Tupac, trapped in the chaos. One memory never leaves him, their last conversation. Tupac, wounded, looked at him and offered to drive. "You're bleeding too much, you can't see," Tupac had said. Suge refused. He wanted to take a safer route to the hospital. More lights, more people. An instinct that changed nothing that night. Before the police intercepted them, before they were pulled over, Tupac had slid a CD into the player. A song about loyalty, brotherhood. A song Tupac had written for him. In Tupac's voice, there was still hope, anger, love for a brother both betrayed and mourned. Suge remembers their bond, shattered by violence. He remembers Biggie, the intercepted call where Biggie denied setting Tupac up. He remembers Tupac's pain, torn between hatred and loyalty, unable to forgive, unable to forget. But more than anything, Suge remembers the betrayal, the deliberate destruction of hip-hop by those who saw its power as a threat. He blames crooked cops for poisoning the scene, arming the hands that killed Tupac and Biggie, silencing the voices that refused to conform. Even now, in his cell, Suge Knight carries invisible scars, not just from that night in Las Vegas, but from deeper wounds, disillusionment. He insists the real perpetrators are still free, that those who orchestrated and sacrificed rap's greatest icons walk among us, protected by silence and power. And if the truth ever emerges, it won't be because of justice. It will be because of those who refuse to forget. Suge Knight has not forgotten, and behind his bitter words lies a cold certainty. In hip-hop's story, the greatest crimes aren't the ones you see. They're the ones nobody dares to name.